happening in Studio B on WNCW Oregon Fairchild. Let's have another.
Sure. What did we say, Bibbs?
Bibbs.
All right. So, that first one we did was from our very first record, which is called Brood in Buffalo. The song was called By Lar, written by Corey. And this next one is also on that very first record. We were talking earlier, we seem to lean on some of the earliest tunes that we did quite a lot still, which is fun, and we kind of always reinvent them a little bit. So this one's from that same record. It's called Bibbiano. It was named after a particularly good bottle of Chianti.
Oregon Fairchild live in Studio B on WNCW. Sounded sweet, fellas.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about that tune.
Well, literally, I was standing in my kitchen one day. The interesting story about the band is that for 2 out of the 3 of us, we had never written any of our own music until this band started about 5 years ago. So we're not young people. For those of you who are listening on the radio and not watching on Facebook, so we didn't start writing our own music till we were in our 50s, in our mid-50s. And so I was literally standing in my kitchen one day with my guitar on. I was waiting for a pot of water to boil, and I had opened a bottle of this Chianti, which is called Bibbiano. And I was having a sip or two, and
It was 8 o'clock in the morning.
right, yeah. I was trying to get the chores done before the kids woke up. No, and that song just sort of like came out. It just literally sort of spilled out onto the guitar. Probably 2/3 of it almost fully formed, you know. So that's where it came from, and we don't tend to do it that much in our live shows because they tend to be. You know, a lot of the material's kind of more up-tempo and dancey and funky, and we get into some eclectic kind of covers, Grateful Dead stuff, and stuff like that. So it doesn't always fit into our live show, but we started doing it again recently and been having a lot of fun with it. So it seemed like a great setting to try it again.
Was it ever set out that you didn't want to write original material, or it just didn't kind of come around?
That's a good question. So there's always the battle of what's better, playing in a cover band or playing in an original band. And there's people that have opinions, just like people have opinions about everything. And we grew up playing in a cover band, and then we've all played in different bands over the years. And yeah, I've supplemented my income playing in cover bands, and it's been quite successful. And a lot of times you talk to guys in original bands, and they're struggling, and unless you're one of the bands that has quote unquote made it. So we never, we kind of dabbled with it a little bit over the years, but never put a lot of thought into it because we were always so busy doing other things. And then Dave called about this project, and like he said, he called us up and said, what do you think about starting this trio? He said, by the way, I've got a few tunes that I put together. I said, well, that sounds great, and because I thought we would just do covers when he first called me. I said, well, how many do you have? And I think he had 7 or something like that. So I was like, geez, that's almost enough for an album. We should probably go take this seriously. So.
I can tell you what did it for me was taking the need to write lyrics off the table. I had tried to write music in the past, and because we all sing in other projects, we just decided that this band would be an instrumental band, and so I would write music I liked, but then as soon as I started to try to put words to it, I'd look at it and just crumble it up and throw it in the garbage, and never wanted it to see the light of day. So it was really, I didn't even realize I had all this music in me that was ready to come out, and what was holding me back was trying to turn them into lyrical songs. So as soon as that was off the table, a bunch of music kind of came out.
Neat. And you've had some success with it. I mean, you were in Wild Nights for a long, long time.
Yep.
And then
still do shows, yeah.
Is it 2020 that Oregon Fairchild was established?
Yeah.
Yeah, late 2019.
And then suddenly in 2021, you're voted New York's top emerging band.
Yeah.
Which had to feel ironic.
It's been pretty. The whole ride has just been kind of astounding. Really, it's hard to really get your head around. I told somebody at our show, and we did our 5th anniversary show on Saturday night, and someone asked us to sign one of our albums, and I told them the story. I said the first time somebody asked me to sign something or give them an autograph, I looked right at him and I said, "Are you serious?" Like I couldn't believe it. And I still can't, Dave will call and say, we're playing at Dark Star Jubilee this year, which is a big deal for us. And I said, we can't play at that. They have real bands at that festival. This is not, we're just, in my head, we're still a basement band, but we keep showing up and doing things, and we come here and see you guys, and it's been fantastic.
It's great to have you here in Spindale. As you're touring through the region, be in Asheville on the 22nd.
Saturday night, yeah.
Saturday at One World Brewing West, Oregon Fairchild.